Hey smart buddies, let's get back to school and know more with the smart slate. Today we'll know more about subject and predicate. Every sentence contains two parts, that is a subject and a predicate. The subject is what or whom the sentence is about and the predicate tells something about the subject. When you add a subject and a predicate, you get a sentence. So in order to have a sentence, you must have a subject as well as a predicate. The subject of a sentence is noun or noun equivalent about which something is said. A predicate is the part of a sentence or a clause that tells what the subject is doing or what the subject is. For example, Hannah is cooking. In this particular sentence, Hannah is the noun or you can say the subject about which something is said. What is said? That she is cooking. What Hannah is doing? She is cooking. So Hannah is the subject and is cooking is the predicate. For example, Japanese goods are cheaper. So Japanese goods is the subject and are cheaper is the predicate. Moving ahead, we'll see few more examples. The very first one is the early bird catches the worm. So the early bird catches the worm, the early bird is the subject and the remaining part is the predicate. The dog was tied to the fence. In this particular example, the dog is the subject and was tied to the fence is the predicate. All men are mortal. In the third example, all men is the subject and are mortal is the predicate. So the subject and the predicate are differentiated using a space and underline. You don't have to write the sentence with the space, but just to explain you, I have added space and differentiated the subject and predicate using underlines. The subject is the who or what of the sentence. We have understood till now. The predicate is the verb and the object is any noun or concept that is part of the action of the subject. So object comes in the picture here. It is any noun or concept that is part of the action of the subject. It will form a part of the subject. But predicate is the sum up of verb, object and the remaining sentence. The essential part of the predicate is the verb. So we'll see the order of a sentence. You have a subject, then a verb, then you'll have an object and the remaining part of the sentence. So verb, object and rest of the sentence forms the predicate. For an example, the cake was delicious at the party. In this particular sentence, the order is the cake was delicious at the party. So the cake is the subject, was is the verb, delicious is an object, and at the party, that is the remaining sentence, is the rest of the sentence. So here, verb, object and rest of the sentences was delicious at the party. This forms your predicate and the cake is the subject. Quite easy. It is not mandatory that the subject should always come first. Occasionally it is put after the predicate. Examples: words are the results of the cruelty. Second one is into the bottom sank the Titanic. So we'll see how can we identify subject here. So here words are the results of the cruelty. The results of the cruelty is the subject. Into the bottom sank the Titanic. So the Titanic is the subject. So your predicate comes first and the subject comes later. That is the results of the cruelty and the Titanic. Now we'll see the subject and predicate chart here. It is in tabulated form. So here, when you write a sentence, it is a combination of subject plus verb plus object plus rest of the sentence. But predicate basically consists of verb, object and rest of the sentence. So stone walls do not make a prison. The very first sentence here, stone walls is the subject, do not make is the verb and a prison is an object. The earth revolves around the sun. The sun is the object here Revolves is the verb and earth is the subject. All the students is the subject, are is the verb, polite is an object, and in the classroom is the rest of the sentence. In the particular sentence, all the students are polite in the classroom. The pasta was delicious at the birthday party. So the pasta is the subject because what was delicious at the birthday party? The pasta. Verb is the was. So here was is the verb you can say, and delicious is the noun because what was delicious? It must tell about the subject. An object must tell about the subject. So here what was delicious? The pasta was delicious. And the remaining sentence or the rest of the sentences at the birthday party. Next is my friends arrived. So here you don't have an object as well as the rest of the sentence does not have any of the words here. The three words itself complete the whole sentence. That is my friends arrived. So my friends is the subject and arrived is the predicate. So this is the basic you can say a chart of the subject, predicate, verb, object and rest of the sentence. You can easily understand. Few of the sentences have an object, few don't have. You can practice on your own. The subject is omitted in the imperative sentences. It is a very much important part of the subject and predicate. Whenever you have an imperative sentence, that is a sentence which gives you an order or makes a request or commands, that particular sentence is known as an imperative sentence. Examples: please be comfortable. So here the subject is missing, that is who should be comfortable or what should be made comfortable. We don't know about the noun or the subject. So here the subject is omitted. Bring a plate of salad. Let the party begin. Get out of the room. So all these sentences just have the predicate, they begin with the verb. They lack noun or there is an omission of the noun or the subject. So here is an homework for you. You all can practice a few more sentences. So the sentences are: after years, everyone came together. You have to classify these 5 sentences into the subject and the predicate. The second one is the class was silent. The third one is the child was punished for stealing. Fourth one is the diversion of the plane was condemned in Europe. Fifth is they met Hannah in the New York City. So do write the answers in the comment section. If you understood the video, do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you. Keep learning, keep growing.